condensed version of the story, structured to last about 5 minutes. On the night of January 24, 2010, a Boeing 737-800 operated by Ethiopian Airlines prepared for its return flight from Beirut to Addis Ababa. The pilots, both well-trained but relatively inexperienced on this aircraft type, had expressed feeling unusual after their meal the previous evening, mentioning dizziness and poor sleep. Despite this, they proceeded with their duties. The captain, a seasoned pilot with 10,200 flight hours, but only 188 hours on the 737-800, was the pilot flying. The first officer, young and highly rated in training, served as pilot monitoring. Both seemed focused as they prepared the aircraft for takeoff, but there was a notable error during their performance calculations. The stabilizer trim setting, which influences the aircraft's balance during takeoff, was set incorrectly. This oversight should have been caught during their checks, but fatigue or other factors likely impaired their judgment. Additionally, the crew did not thoroughly discuss their departure plan despite the challenging weather ahead, including thunderstorms near the airport. As the plane lined up on runway 21, the air traffic controller gave them a non-standard clearance to turn directly toward a waypoint called Cheka after takeoff, bypassing parts of the original departure route. The first officer read back the clearance, and the captain switched on the weather radar, indicating his awareness of the surrounding storms. At 12:37 a.m., Flight 409 took off. Almost immediately, things went wrong. The incorrectly set trim made the aircraft harder to control, requiring significant effort to maintain proper pitch. At the same time, the captain initiated a turn earlier than necessary, possibly confused by the illegal clearance. The aircraft entered a series of erratic movements, with both pilots struggling to regain control. The flight quickly descended into chaos. Poor communication and a lack of coordination between the pilots compounded the situation. As the aircraft veered off course, warnings and alarms filled the cockpit. Despite the crew's attempts to stabilize the plane, it entered an uncontrollable dive and crashed into the Mediterranean Sea just 5 minutes after takeoff. All 90 people on board tragically lost their lives. Investigators later identified several contributing factors, including the incorrect stabilizer trim, the pilot's impaired performance possibly linked to fatigue or their earlier meal, and the crew's failure to manage the adverse weather conditions. This heartbreaking accident serves as a stark reminder of the importance of vigilance, communication, and preparation in aviation.